5 lessons that the initiated people need to learn. And these are not my lessons. I've discovered these ideas in Richard Rohr's book, Adam's Return. This is a book about 5 lessons of male initiation. And even though this book is focused on male initiation and the lessons that men need to get in order to become adults, I would say that these lessons are in a way universals and can apply to any human being. And in this video I want to explore and speak about these 5 lessons. And before going into details, maybe a couple of words about what initiation means, because it's something that is very absent from the modern society. And here, maybe you can hear or not, there's an airplane just taking off from Cluj. So initiation, in the indigenous cultures, in the traditional tribes, young men, especially young men, were going through specific initiation processes that were lasting somewhere between 6 months up to a couple of years. And in this initiation journey, the young men were going through some experiences, challenges, teachings, time in solitude, in nature, in the wilderness, survival experiences, through which they were, transforming their egos, their psyches. They were learning important life lessons that were allowing them to become adults, fully mature adults, and then returning in the village with gifts, with lessons, with energy to offer to the village, to the community. These processes are quite inexistent in the modern times in the way that was happening in the tribal situations. The young males in our situation were learning some lessons, and Richard Rohr, in this book Adam's Return, he is identifying and writing about these 5 lessons that people had to learn. And I want to explain them to you and speak a little bit about each lesson. So the first lesson is that life is hard. Life is hard, and this is what we need to understand, that life is a difficult experience. We are born in a place on the earth that is challenging to be in. We need to work, we need to go through loss, through struggles, through pain and suffering. There are so many challenges, and this is something that we really need to understand, that life is hard. And if we feel that our life is hard, what we need to do is to accept this fact and to embrace the difficulties of life. And imagine for the young adults, young boys that were going through this initiation process, they had to survive on their own, and they were learning that it's really hard to survive, that you really need to put a lot of effort and many skills and competencies into even surviving. So this is the first lesson, that life is hard, and we really need to accept this fact. The second lesson that initiated people need to know is that we are not important. Yes, we are not important. And this lesson has to do a lot with our egos and with the disintegration of our ego. Because very often in the first years of our life we develop false self, let's say. We develop certain images, certain ideas about ourselves, and these especially when our ego is fresh, is just coming up to life, we develop the tendency of thinking that we are the center of the world. We are the center of our family, the center of our social group, the center of the world. And this is a way that an immature ego is developing. And through the initiation journey, people are learning that they are not important. And above all, their ego is not important. And that we are actually living a life that is not about ourselves, and that we are not the top, but we are part of a bigger picture. You know, just like this leaf, you know, I'm not more, not less important than this leaf. So this is the second lesson, and this lesson may be triggering some things in ourselves, because we often want to feel important, valuable. And I have to admit that sometimes, you know, when I do videos and I put them online and I see people liking them, my ego is inflating, and I can easily fall into this temptation of believing that I'm so important, that I am the most amazing person in Cluj-Napoca. But in fact, this is not true. I'm not important. I'm just a human being that lives a human experience. So that is lesson number 2. I am not that important. Lesson number 3 is that life is not about you. Life is not about ourselves. Life is not about our becoming and achievements and building and having and doing things for ourselves, but life is for giving, for doing something for the world, for others. So this is lesson number 3, that life is not about ourselves, but life is about manifesting a greater destiny that is not mine in a way, but is meant to flow through me, is meant to be manifested through me. And yeah, again, a new plane. I don't know if you hear it or not, but it's really interesting. So yeah, and these lessons that I shared until now, they mess a little bit with our ego, and they tell us that I need to step aside and make space for my soul, for my divine self, for my higher self, to live the true and authentic and real life that I need to live. So lesson number 3, life is not about us. Life is about giving, fulfilling a sacred destiny, a sacred mission that we have to fulfill. Lesson number 4. Lesson number 4 is one that I really like, is that you are not in control, and I am not in control. I am not in control of my life. It sounds a little bit paradoxical, but it is the lesson that we need to learn. There are bigger forces that influence my life, influence the world. There's weather, there's destiny, there is the divine will, call it however you are, but we are not in control. We may be co-creators, we may receive inspiration, intuition, insights from transcendental places. But at the end of the day, I believe that I'm only playing part of the big play of life. And there are bigger forces that are in control of the earth, of my life. And when I personally accept this, I feel more detached, I feel more calm, I embrace the uncertainties, and I also believe to trust more that whatever happens to me is the right thing to happen. So lesson number 4 is that we are not in control. Lesson number 5. Oh boy. This one says that one day we are going to die. Yes, this is the 5th lesson about death. That sooner or later you and I and everyone, this tree and all these trees, will die. Just like this leaf. We are going to die. And when we understand this, I believe there are big chances that we become more aware and responsible for the way we live our lives. Because we have received this gift of being alive in this place, in this moment of human history, of planetary history. And we need to understand that we are going to die, and we need to make the best out of this chance. So yeah, these are the 5 lessons that the young men, through the initiatory journey, they were learning. And someone who really grasps and experienced and felt these lessons can return back into the village with a sense of responsibility, with a sense of humility, feeling humble, and putting himself or herself with all his gifts and his energy into the surface of the human community. And in this way, living a meaningful and authentic life. So this is what I wanted to share with you in this video. I hope you liked it. I see some people passing by, and this is really interesting. And yeah, I'm curious what's your perspective about these ideas that I've just shared. Leave your comment in the section. Give it a like to this video, share it with your friends, and above all, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. It will help me a lot with my work. If you're interested in the things that I do, check in the description of this video the link to my website, where you see events and workshops and programs that I do, other playlists with videos, and yeah, what else can I say? That this is the forest. The earth is waiting for you. Go out, connect, and be in touch with the earth and with your soul. Thank you so much, my friend. See you soon. Another video will follow. Bye bye.